fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians.
Do we look like a small fringe minority? You're crazy. Your speeches make us all cringe. Seriously, your power binge has made you a little unhinged. You don't represent the views of us. You hear those sounds, asshole? That's the people saying enough of this evil. What you're doing is illegal. People getting arrested for delivering diesel, while you, the little weasel in hiding, pissing off the so-called small fringe people. Media spreading misinformation, now calling them an occupation. Where's their fact check on them? Calling the protest full of terrorists and racists. Those of you against this are idiots. It's fake news that are the terrorists. What happened to the right to protest? Everyone else did it without being harassed. Protests are meant for disruption or else no one would listen. The news goes out looking, micro-picking for any bad attention they can get a video in, then blow it up out of proportion, spin it in any way they can spin. But no matter what, we will win. This all stops when this leader comes out of hiding and sits down and all the talks begin. This is a protest of the people for the people. Together we stand, divided we fall.
Individuals are trying to blockade our economy, our democracy, and our fellow citizens' daily lives.
The lesson for the COVID-19 police is that when you've lost even Canadians, arguably the most law-abiding people on the planet, you've lost them.
Bad actors somehow passing through a police blockade to invade a peaceful protest, to cause shit with their cameras. All fixated on hate is the only videos they want made. Portrayed us to be monsters, media paid to have it all displayed, to try and persuade public minds to be afraid. But don't worry, we see past their charade. We're not afraid. They keep threatening lawsuits against all the protesters for hassling the people of the city, all because you hustle to find a few with an issue. Notice how they have no evidence of all this so-called violence, yet you sit back and call this an insurrection, calling the people terrorists for wanting rights from an injection. Do the real math or suffer their wrath. This is their insurrection. We the people have an obligation to stand up to their divide and separation, even with the desperation of the fake news media and all their distraction. I ask you, where's your proof of all this violence? Just because your media takes a picture of a couple flags and tags it to the peaceful and respectful protests, then want to peg them as criminals and racists, hate activists. We're not having this. The four people you see aren't part of this. Smart people look past this. We're fearless and could care less what the fake news says. Resist we will. All of media's crookedness, trying to make this look as bad as they can, when all we want to do is walk free without consequence. Media's looking pretty pathetic and petty if you ask me, trying so desperately to undermine what we're doing for our country.
Everything is on the table because this unlawful activity has to end, and it will end. Canadian banks are monitoring financial activity very closely and taking action as necessary. The consequences are becoming more and more severe.
GoFundMe cancels donations for a peaceful protest, finding loopholes saying they broke the rules with so-called violence with no evidence of this. Your disgust and your mistrust is going to be your financial bust, especially after a video of you supporting violent protests in the past. Double standards at best, kids playing on jumping castles and the rest playing hockey in the streets. People in peace and you call this violence, and they must cease their rights to appease you. Then release your hold on society. You say we're frustrated, that's an understatement. This is something your government created. Them hateful words and speeches eat at us like flesh-eating diseases, teaches us what overreach is. Being liberal means you're a sucker to all. One leader is playing at his cottage while apparently a siege going on at the Capitol. Next day, calling a state of emergency over people protesting peacefully. Didn't seem like it was that important, or was it forced and endorsed by his truly? June 1st, we're voting no more of this. Threaten all you want, but we won't stop till all this is reversed. The next federal election, my vote's with this man.
One person is responsible for this mess, and that's the Prime Minister. That's right. He caused this mess by attacking Canadian citizens and taking away their freedoms.